Back in February of this year, Bethesda's Pete Hines was interviewed on the Kinda Funny Games podcast. During the interview, he dropped a hint about the new game from Machine Games, saying, "Machine Games has been hard at work on something, which I can tell you I've played. It's fucking bananas, and I can't wait to show you what it actually is." Well, we had our suspicions, but it's now been confirmed that that fucking bananas game was Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. Now, perhaps it's just because we've been awake for over 24 hours and we've all gone a little silly, but that trailer was one of the weirdest trailers we've ever seen. So let's take a closer look at the bits that made the Eurogamer video team say WTF.
Here you go, Peggy. There's everything your mother ordered and a ration card. And here's a lakritschnecker just for you.
Wow. Gee, thanks, Mr. Wilson.
Number 1. For a game that's all about violently killing fascists, the Wolfenstein 2 trailer starts out in a surprisingly wholesome fashion, with all-American girl Peggy picking up some groceries for her mother. When she stumbles across a man in dire need of assistance, however, things start to get a little weird. And robotic. And fascistic. Blowing on a handy whistle, Peggy calls in Liesel, the helpful Nazi wonder dog, who saves the poor helpless man in no time. And then wrecks the truck, just for kicks.
Good girl, Liesel. Bravo, Hund. Liesel, no! No! Stop it, Liesel!
While it's a pretty good way of emphasising the fact that Wolfenstein 2 takes place in an alternate history America in which the Nazis have taken over, it was about this time that we started thinking about stopping drinking. Or was it starting? I forget which.
Good nutrition is a matter of state security.
Wunderbar soldier who ever lived. Power of thunder.
Welcome back to round 3. Now is where it gets really exciting on America's #1 game show.
Number 2. Do you know what the fuck this is? Because we've got no idea. At first glance, it looks like a cat. It even meows. Look below the collar though, and you'll notice it has the body of a monkey. Combine this with the fact that it's changing the channels on a TV, and what we've got here is probably the result of some kind of disturbing Nazi experiment. I'm going to hazard a guess that this weird little creature is the pet of one of New Colossus's villains.
Put the fighting spirit back in the American.
During the trailer, we spotted a few familiar faces, including gentle giant Max Hass and BJ's love interest, the now heavily pregnant Anya.
You think your hero, William Joseph Lescotch?
It was the surprise return of the evil Frau Engel that shocked us the most, though. In the previous game, Frau Engel had her face mangled by a rampaging robot before being tossed off the side of a cliff. Now she's back and she's sporting some mean scars, but unfortunately her brush with death hasn't chilled her out at all, as evidenced by this clip where she's gleefully forcing a woman to cut someone's head off with an axe. What a Nazi piece of work. Number 4, BJ's crazy new body armour. At one point in the trailer, BJ finds himself being held at gunpoint by a couple of jittery characters who are fairly convinced he's a Nazi. The situation threatens to turn ugly, with BJ almost catching a bullet in the head, but luckily it seems he can now turn his head into a bucket whenever he likes. We're not really sure where this new body armour has come from, but it's pretty weird, and it looks like it might actually be embedded in his skin, or at least grafted onto his body. To be fair though, it did save BJ's life, so while the sudden head bucket did make us wonder what the hell we were seeing, it can stay.
I ain't no goddamn Nazi.
Number 5, this guy's name.
Now you bring Super Spesh back in and you put him down right now, or I will shove this grenade so far up your ass.
You take freedom away from the American people, you're playing with fire.
Number 6, rideable robot dogs. If there's one thing stranger than a big robot dog enthusiastically smashing up the place in a live-action trailer, it's getting to ride a robot dog through the streets while it enthusiastically vomits flames at Nazis. Panzerhund, you're all right. No idea what they've been feeding you though, and if it's bad enough to do that to your front end, you gotta feel for the poor sod who has to pick up its poops. Number 7. Just when you think the trailer is finally over, it drops one final WTF moment in there just because it can. Now, I'm not sure about you, but when your friend is approaching a person lying prone on the floor with the express intention of stabbing them to death, well, that seems like a spectacularly bad time to drop a tab. Just saying. Still, any game that can get away with inserting an animated chameleon into one of its cutscenes is alright by me.
We gotta go.
You, one strawberry milkshake, please. Oh, I hope you don't have a fire back there to put out.
So there we go, that was 7 of the most WTF moments in the new Wolfenstein The New Colossus trailer. Did you spot anything in there that made you do a bigger WTF? Let us know in the comments below, and do check out these videos on screen now for more of our E3 coverage. Goodbye.
Are you at Station 1?
There you go, Commandant.
Oh, vielen Dank. Now you, show me your identification papers.